got a man trying to ruin my life. I've got a man trying to ruin my life. I've got secrets I could never tell anyone. My son. I dedicated my whole life to him. That level of love can just crack you open, make you someone you never thought you'd be.
Dad, something happened.
Oh my God. Listen to me very carefully. You've got your whole life ahead of you. We decide what the truth is.
I want who did this.
They killed Rocco, so we have to send a message.
I love your father, and I love you. I'd do anything to protect you.
No one can be trusted.
I smell the fear. I can work on fear.
I can't do it, Dad. Any of this.
Yes, you can. You have to, or we die.
I'm a good liar.
I can't know this.
This is New Orleans. Everybody connects.
You're asking me to put your son before the pursuit of justice.
I am your father. I am being your father. I need more time!
It's amazing what a man can do with the will to survive.